Hello.
Hi.
Welcome and thank you for giving me your time today. I know you guys are all really busy and just giving me 15 minutes of your time actually means a lot to me, and I'm hoping I can make an impact on you guys and share a positive message with you guys. Misaligned, depressed, pain, frustration. How many guys have ever felt these kind of feelings at work?
Yes, mate, you right? You right? There's a few more people coming.
That's right, just come and join in.
Jazz, this
We
is
need
my
to see
fault,
it.
Chris.
That's it.
Hi, mate.
Come and join in, please.
Other parts.
Yeah. Now, which one of us enjoys feeling like this?
No,
Right. Now, I totally agree, and I feel the exact same way. I work with James, and the nature of construction, the nature of what we do in recruitment, it's a challenging task, and often we can leave a lot of ups and downs. Confident, driven, passionate. Who would prefer to feel like this?
Yeah.
Who likes feeling like this?
Oh, that's me.
I totally agree. So, my name is Jazz Tor. I'm a project manager. I currently work for Skanska, but I'm also got something I do on the side, which is leadership speaking and coaching. Where I am today is, for most of my day, most of my working life, and most of my life, I feel like this. I feel driven, I feel passionate, I feel enthusiastic about what I do. But it wasn't always like that. I've also felt most of the earlier feelings of frustration, pain, and for most of my career, I felt like that. And then I looked at myself and said, well, I was discussing with some of the guys here, I got to a point and said I can't allow myself to continue to go on like this. I can't allow myself to just be in a place where I'm always feeling these negative thoughts and emotions. So I went on a little journey. This isn't a journey of self-discovery. I didn't go sit at the top of a mountain. I didn't go travel Thailand for a month. No, I didn't do that. This was more of a journey of self-education. And on that journey of self-education, I found that there was one thing that really helped me align myself with who I am so I can be myself, not only in life, but at work. And allowed me to feel driven, confident, and have that sense of purpose. And that one word, to sum it up, was authenticity. Now, why am I here today? Why do I want to tell you about authenticity? What benefits can it bring to you as a team, as leaders, and as an organisation? So I've got a statistic here. There was a study carried out in 2013 from the Individual Authenticity Measure at Work, IAM Work. And the study carried out shows that the greater the employee's feeling of authenticity, the greater their job satisfaction, engagement, and performance. Now, what does that mean to you as a team? So that's something that's not really seen, it's an invisible feeling, something that's intangible, yet an intangible feeling can make you feel more passionate, more driven, more motivated, and actually increase your performance. So as a company, you're not paying for training, you're not paying for equipment or people to go to places, yet it's a feeling that allows people to perform better, which can bring you greater results. A second benefit is trust. Studies show that when people trust the people that they work with, or their employer, or their leaders, they will do more for them. They will go that extra mile because they feel like they can trust them. And people trust people who they feel are authentic. I want you to imagine this picture. It's a scenario in your head. You're in a relationship, so whether this is boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whoever it may be. When you're at that initial stages of that relationship, you might feel you getting to know someone, but you don't 100% trust that person. Trust takes time to build up. Now imagine that person was never really present with you. They never really shared their vulnerabilities with you. You can't really trust that person. You would never get to that point where you fully trust them. But if you felt someone was authentic and they were open and honest with who they were, you'd probably trust them a bit more. The world's leading organizations, so people like Microsoft, Google, Facebook, they are all putting authenticity to the forefront. They are encouraging authenticity because they've realized studies like the one I mentioned, they increase performance, motivation, which can also go on to increase success and results as a company, all through a feeling. Now we're moving into this area of moving away from tangible skills and assets. So these are things like punctuality, which we look at CVs now, we don't really care about that. But what we care about is what the person's values are, who they are as a person. Those seem to bring us greater benefits. But I didn't just come in to tell you authenticity is great and that you should all do it and be yourselves. I don't want it to just be a buzzword. So I wanted to come here and share with you is 4 simple tools. Now these are free, so you'll be happy. You don't have to pay for anything.
Thank you.
But they are small behavioural shifts. And it's a small price to pay. When a small behavioural shift can create that sense of feeling of good emotions and positive energy, which can bring you greater success and increased performance from a team. So the first one is creating a positive impact. Now who here is a line manager? Right? Okay, so this and who here has reports to someone? I assume it's the rest of them. Okay. Now imagine this scenario. As a delegate, you go to your line manager and you want to ask them a question. And as a line manager, you're busy, you're focused on something, and as that conversation happens, you brush them off. Now versus the same situation where you just give them an extra 10 seconds, pay them a bit of attention, say, look, I'm sorry at the minute, I'm a little bit busy, can we schedule a time I will come speak to you in 5 minutes? That difference between pretending to care and thinking that actually you can create a positive impact in the situation by just caring a little bit more. Who here wakes up every morning and says, I'm going to come to work and make someone's life a misery? We don't do that. We're good-natured people. That's not who we are as people. It's that thinking that in every situation we can create a positive impact. The second one, encouraging authenticity and lowering expectations. As organizations in the world today, we generally try to fit everybody into a box, a tick box exercise where you need to meet certain criteria and certain categories to meet an expectation of our company. Yet at the same time, we're asking for diversity. We're asking for creativity, different values, different opinions, different backgrounds. The two don't align. And that's what causes those feelings of distrust, anger, and pain. As leaders, what we could do is if we lower the expectations of what we expect from people, allow them to bring themselves to work and bring who they are to the forefront, we can start to see their creativity. Less judgment and actually let them voice their opinions. This way it makes them feel valued and actually shares that good feeling of diversity, and it brings about those feelings of purpose, trust. The third one, allowing people to voice their opinion. So we all like to do this, but we all fall into this trap where when things get tough, things are busy, we stop listening to our teams. Now imagine this is one of your meeting rooms in here, and I'm going to pick on you, Mehmet. You come in here and you say, okay, so we have a problem and this is what we're going to do. You go around the room and say, this is what you're going to do, go away and do it. Now, okay, that might work once or twice when we need a bit of direction. But consistency in this actually disrupts creativity and it shuts people off from who they are because they cannot voice their opinion. Now, imagine the flip side where Mehmet came in and said, okay, we have a problem and I want to hear what you guys have to say. And you went around the table listening to different voices and opinions. This way we feel valued. It creates an environment where people are open to talk and then encourages creativity by bringing yourself to work, being authentic with who you are. That moves us away from feeling distrust and moves us towards feeling confident. And the fourth one, encouraging people to bring themselves to work. Now, we like to say this often, but I see you guys seem to have a good atmosphere here where you're open, you're honest. But linked to the second one, what we often do is we shut people off from who they want to be. Who here has ever, or does, behave differently at home than they do at work? I think probably most of us. So sometimes, I used to be like that too, and I probably still do it now. So a study recently carried out says that UK British adults, workers, 75% of them would like their colleagues to bring more of themselves to work. So be who they are, share their opinions, share their stories. This is where the diversity comes into it. Diversity is not just gender and race, it's background, it's who you are, the stories that you've had, and how that can apply to your workplace. This way we start to bridge the gap between work-life balance, which is quite an outdated model now. We start to look at work-life integration. So this is where work and life aren't mutually exclusive. You enjoy what you do, you love what you do, so you can be yourself in that situation. Now, I know you guys are busy, and there's a lot of information to take in. So I just want to do a quick recap, and I want you to focus on one thing. Because if you look at one thing that you can do, and so one small behavioural shift, and each one of us does something little, collectively we can make a big difference. So think about when we went to the first slide. These feelings are bad feelings that are tied up with being misaligned. So not being authentic to who we are. These good feelings, these positive feelings, driven, confident, honest, energetic, these are feelings which are aligned with being authentic and bringing yourself to work. And then there are 4 small behavioural shifts that you can do. Number 1, think about how you can create a positive impact in every situation. Number 2, lowering your expectations of what you expect people to be and allow people to be themselves first and don't judge against that. Allowing people to voice their opinion. So listening first. Sometimes we need to just close our mouths and listen to other people's opinions first. Also, there's a little extra thing there as a leader where if you listen to other people's opinions first, you can actually help upskill them. There's 2 ways of that. One way is that if you listen to people first, actually you might realize that you're wrong and there's a better idea out there. Or if the decisions or opinions that are coming out there are not quite aligned with the company or your way of thinking, as you listen to people's opinions and then make your decision as a leader, your team and employees can actually see that way of thinking and they start to think on the same lines. So there's also an upskilling element to that. And then the last one, encouraging people to be themselves, especially not criticizing. So when people come with their different backgrounds and opinions, be open and honest with it. Have open and honest conversations. This way you can encourage people to be themselves. And I just want to leave this one last statement. The world has changed. We are no longer in an area of tangible skills and assets. And we are in this area of intangible, which is invisible skills. Things like authenticity. And the world's leading organizations, the most successful and fulfilled people and teams are the ones that encourage authenticity. Thank you. And I am open to take any questions or for the little discussion or chat afterwards. Be around for a bit, or if there's any discussions or open chats we can have here. Could you just